Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, and let's get today.
Yes, it is Friday. We made it to another week. Lovely Lavetta, how are you?
I'm okay.
Very good, very good. How was your week? How was your week? You smiling? What
My week was.
got you smiling tonight, Lavetta?
I'm just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea gonna be laughing. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good, good. Jefferson, how are you?
Well, I'm okay by the grace, and again, like you said, we made it to another month. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. From January now we're in the fifth month, so it got to be God. So yes, I'm blessed to be alive again in a new month.
Yeah, that's right. We are in a new month already, May.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, Lavetta, what are our trending stories for today?
All right. Let me say good evening to our listeners. Welcome to LIB Fisher TV News Updates with me, Lavecta Davis. Cummins mobilized grassroots holds strategic meeting in District number 11 ahead of 2029 polls. Alternative National Congress political leader Alexander Cummins is expected to converge with party members and supporters on Saturday, May 2, 2026 at the Kebe Sport Pitch in District 11, Montserrat County. The visit aims to mobilize grassroots supporters and hold a strategic planning meetings focused on building broad support for Cummins' presidential bid ahead of the 2029 elections. According to the ANC, the Boubacar Koun-led government has not fulfilled its campaign promises for the past 3 years, and the debate for change and a transformational leader who will be intentional in transforming every sector in Liberia cannot be overemphasized. Cummins, a former executive at Coca-Cola Bottling Company, is touted by the ANC as an experienced administrator with a strong international network and influence. The party describes him as an expressive politician who identifies challenges and pursues measures to address them. ANC Youth Congress launches anti-drug campaign as Cummins urges government to go after big fish. The Alternative National Congress is stepping up its fight against drugs, with the party's Youth Congress launching a school campaign while political leader Alexander Cummins pressed the government to target big fish behind drugs importation. The ANC Youth Congress has begun an anti-drugs and alcohol campaign for school children in Montserrat County and its environs, saying the effort keeps with its commitment to address Liberia's drugs crisis. The group has also reportedly urged the Unity Party-led government to build more rehabilitation centers instead of party headquarters. Meanwhile, Cummins challenged the government to be proactive in holding influential figures accountable. The government must be proactive, standing grounds to hold accountable the big names that are within and or connected to officials to stop drugs proliferation. He said during an engagement with disadvantaged youth in West Point Township. The former presidential candidate warned against some officials being in bed with drugs imported at the expense of young people. The government must take the lead, stop the importation, and go after the big fish, Cummings noted. Corruption, nepotism allegations rock Lacra. Acting DG Seyi accused of fulfilling posts with relatives and associates. Sources allege on Obest Sayi earns $500 as Deputy Director for General Services, more than supervisor. Madam Hexfin Tapia alleged close associate named commercial director at $1,000. Councilor Roosevelt Gould appointed legal head at $1,500 for his predecessor's $400. Board chair Francis accused of reassigning field vehicle. Claims of dismissing Buaka appointees. Lacrat silent. Salif condemns Koluba's expulsion. Ex-president says expelling lawmaker threatens free speech governance. On 2FM, April 30th, Salif cited Article 15, said freedom of speech is something that we must respect. House expelled Representative Yeke Koluba with 49 over 73 votes after Rules Committee report. Representative Sim Jala denied signing resolution. Salif, I don't think this is the way to go. Gonglo slams Vice President Kun's broader remark. As presidential candidate calls for Vice President's take over a city comment, reckless amid border tensions. On ELBC, Vice President Kun said Liberia has strength to defend itself and destabilize territories beyond borders. Gonglo, irresponsible, reckless, and inflammatory, won it risks diplomacy and peace amid Liberia-Guinea border dispute. As NSA, Common denies role in 6.2 million United States dollars funds. Former National Security Advisor rejects LACC allegations in corruption trial. Kamo testified he learned of funds only via copy letter from Councillor Yanti Tuan. Denies consulting on channeling money through FIA, criticized LACC for lack of evidence on alleged consultation, disputed that FIA Code 800 was financial authorization, said National Joint Security is informal, not a legal body. Jurors requested a full LACC statement. Trial continues. Cassia Cole disqualified from 2026 Liberia Football Association election. Liberia Football Association bounds FC Facile CEO over U.S. conviction. Supreme Court for Lobes. Cole disqualified on Liberia Football Association statute Article 58.1 for past criminal conviction. Served 7 years in U.S. federal prison. Returned 2023. Plans to challenge at the Supreme Court, citing Article 58.1 of Liberia's Constitution, mandating rights restoration after sentence completions, accused Liberia Football Association rule conflicts with the Constitution. District 12 lawmaker defend a record. Lawmaker addresses criticism, list project rejects corruption claims. In open letter acknowledges complaint but cites progress. A district office construction. Reviewing her completed market rehabilitated roles ongoing. 100 plus students assisted. Estate clinic expansion. Denies corruption allegations. Demands evidence. Calls youth partners. Urges judgment by evidence, not expectation. Judges trained on oil and gas law. Judiciary builds capacity ahead of oil sector expansion. 5-day training in Ganta, April 27 to May 1, approved by the Chief Justice Gbese, Georgia Sterling, National Oil Law Petroleum Frameworks, case studies, go handle oil exploitation or production, disputes per international disputes per international best practice. A best of the justice system is strengthening for increased oil activity. And large turnout for SGA elections at William V. Stodman University. As students vote in numbers to elect new student leaders, election held April 30 across 6 colleges. IEC Chairman Ibrahim T. Tour called turnout very impressive and encouraging despite early challenges. My name is Lovecta Davis. I presented a little news update from Liberia.
Thank you, Lavetta. Thank you so much for the news. And get home safe.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So tonight, we're gonna look at the week in review and cover some of the stories that happened. But our main topic is the Liberianization policy, and that today that was highlighted by the vice president. He had some meetings around trying to enforce the Liberianization policy. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about the women this week. The women were speaking out. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had an interview where she made some very hot statements, and we're going to go over those. We're also going to talk about Mrs. Cummings, who today also spoke out on social media and slam some of the misinformation and disinformation coming out. So it should be a very exciting show tonight. First of all, I know a lot of our callers, our LIB Future TV callers, call and say to us all the time, Mr. Cummings needs to get out. Mr. Cummings needs to start going around. Mr. Cummings, he needs to start going from place to place and meeting people. Well, it looks like he was listening to you, because he's going to be out in District 11. And it says Saturday, May 2nd, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. He will be in the Kaba Sport Pitch. And it says, come and meet the man Cummings for yourself in District 11. And that's in Monserrado County. It says, reawakening the ANC in Monserrado County. So for all of you who said Mr. Cummings needs to come out, Mr. Cummings needs to get out, go out and see him tomorrow at 10 o'clock. He will be at the Kaba Sports Pitch. Jefferson, you know where that is?
Yes, I know Keba in Barnesville. I know where it is.
Okay. Yeah, so that's where he's going to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So he's getting out, he's getting around, and he's going to meet you. So please go and meet him. But Jefferson, what stories do you want to highlight for the week?
Well, major stories that there have been, news making airwaves. The most important one all through have been this Yeke Koluba's, removal, and then on Wednesday, they were, which was the 29th, they were at the Supreme Court because, as you may recall, on the 20th, when he filed he sent in his bit of information at the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court wrote the House of Representatives, for them to file in to fight a return. And so when they did that on Wednesday, the 29th, they went there, and in fact they told the court in their return that the court should there are some legal terms should throw the case out, and I have the document in fact is here, and so that it wasn't important, they shouldn't have anything to do with it, but the Supreme Court reserved rulings into it. But in their counts, a whole lot of them, 13 counts, there were some contradictions, too many contradictions, in their return. They had told, as you may recall, they had told the public, in fact, the complaint against Yeke was just Sumo Moba had complained Yeke to the house. It was because of a statement he made regarding the Salamba Buro in Lofa there. And then, but in one of the accounts, they did not mention that. What they told, the court is that he had violated their rules, and so he was expelled for violation of the rules and misconduct. But then the question now is, if he was violated, he violated, he was expelled for violation and misconduct, then why would you turn him over to the Justice Ministry for prosecution, since you have your own rules? So a lot of them, and also they said that, well, in one of the counts, they said that during their proceedings, Yeke Kaluba walked out of the hearings without their consent, which was not true. And like I said yesterday, which was not true, because I was present. In fact, excuse me, they were on cameras. They are invited. They wrote Yeke and informed him to come with his team of lawyers. So when he came, they stopped the lawyers from speaking, from saying anything on grounds that they have their own rules. He should speak, but they should speak through him. They would just whisper in his ears, then he would say. So on that grounds, Councillor Yekula, Councillor Jonathan Masako, and Justice Beze, they said, well, the proceedings were not right, so since they were not permitted to say anything, they walked out. On that basis, Yeke Kaluba said, well, now I don't have lawyers, so I can sit here under this, proceeding. I can't go through the process because I don't have anybody representing. So, but that's what they stated, that he walked out without their consent, which was a contradiction. So a lot of things, like you stated, one of the news people, are not getting. The vice president had told, when he appeared on state radio, he told the Liberian people that he has men aside of the army, the men and women in the army. There are men out there that he knows who can capture a whole city. Yeah, so that statement has been lingering in the ears of critics, of Liberians. Why would the vice president, make a statement like that on state radio, that he has men who are aside of the ones in the army? So who are those men? Like 3 men can capture a whole city, a whole city. So that's one. Madam Salif are accused. In fact, she made a strong statement, and it's something that was very strong. Number one, the city is filthy. It is dirty. Completely, it is dirty. She emphasized on it, and she said, well, President Bwaka doesn't go to her. He will not say anything to her. Maybe when he invites her, when he reach out to her, she will, help. And the one that, went wide now is when she got involved. When she made her comment on side, about Yeke Kaluba's expulsion, right? That you don't need to expel somebody for what they say, because in 2010, she signed the freedom of speech. She signed that into law. But for somebody to say something and you expel them, that was way too much. It was a harsh decision. So I mean, she frowned on that and other issues that went across. Maybe perhaps we'll talk about them on the show as we go along.
Yes, yes. So we're going to that's going to be one of our topics tonight. But we're going to start with the Liberianization policy because in the VP's interview, he talked about something that former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said was foolish. It was a foolish statement he made when he said, "Well, foreigners steal, and if Liberians steal, they're not stealing as much as foreigners. Foreigners steal a lot." And she said, "That is what kind of leader speaks that way? He isn't so foolish to say something like that." And in response, I believe he started to go around and meet with foreign business owners and say it's time to enforce the Liberianization policy. So, what is the Liberianization policy? In 1998, the Liberianization policy was expanded, and it means that there are about 26 categories of jobs in Liberia, businesses in Liberia that only Liberians can do. Okay. So I'm going to go over the list of them. And these are businesses that only the Liberian people are supposed to do. It's a way to protect Liberians from having their own industries, their own businesses in the country. One is block making with cement, clay, or other like materials. Now, I know for sure there are foreign companies doing that. I know for sure. Supply of sand, stone, and granite. Now, there's a story that we covered on LIB Future TV in Marshall, where there's a company in Marshall that is mining sand, Chinese company. So we know that is not true. Operation of gas stations, peddling, ice cream manufacturing, commercial printing, travel agency, advertising agency, graphics and commercial arts, distribution in Liberia of local manufactured products, cinemas, production of poultry products, importation or sale of secondhand or used clothing, retail sale of rice. Oh, so only Liberians are supposed to sell rice. Oh wow. Ice making or sale of ice, operation of water purification or bottling plant valued at less than 100,000, or the sale of distribution of water purified in Liberia. Importation and sale of used cars, tire repair shops, auto repair shops with investment of less than 50,000. Entertainment centers not connected with established hotels, retail sale of animal and poultry food, taxi and trucking, shoe repair shops, retail sale of timber and planks, bakeries, and retail sale of pharmaceuticals. And so all of those businesses are only supposed to be Liberian owned. Now, I know for sure that I have seen these type of businesses owned by foreign companies. What say you, Jefferson?
Well, indeed, a lot of businesses here that are named, you just named that should be operated by Liberians are being operated by foreigners. Exactly, they've been operated by foreigners. You see, I'll just start with I'll just start with some like for example, there is this part, this distribution of these Xboxes and freezers and what have you. There are there are companies that are producing that are operating uh, that these foreigners come to the country and they are the ones doing it, like we call, like what Liberians call the sepe, right? So they bring these pots, these aluminum pots, and they bring the stereo players, then the Xbox, or the refrigerators, and then these electronics like flash screen. So they bring it to you, a Liberian, and then they give it to you, and you have to pay you pay by installment. You know, sometimes 50 or $250. So you pay every month. You pay $50. So, and these are businesses that Liberians should be doing. For example, Seti Brother is producing and manufacturing steel. So uh, Liberians who have their their stores and shops, whenever they go to Seti Brothers to buy, when they buy wholesale, they take it to their stores in a community, for example, and they will sell there. But if a Lebanese man from Sati Brother, or Indian, or anybody from that, Sati Brother will visit these communities, and they notice that, well, a Liberian man is selling here, so they will go beside you there and go and sell the same thing. They will do retail as well when they should be doing wholesale, but they will do retail. And
Mhm.
a lot of them, we see the Chinese people, they have Chinese cold storage. You have them producing ice, when Liberians should be the one producing ice. Some local businesses that Liberians should be doing, and these people are doing it. So sometimes that's why we say, when these statements are being made, the government is almost like making mockery out of uh the Liberian people. You said they will not be spectators, but they become more spectators, even, yeah, than what you said. So it's just the other. And one man who always complains on this is Dominic Nimle. Perhaps we'll try to get him on one of our editions, so that he could be and talk about the liberalization policy and talk about business, because he had complained that Liberians are being spectators. If you go to these stores, you see Liberians who should be doing these jobs. The Indians, the foreigners, they're the ones doing the work of the Liberian people, the businesses. So it's just a form of charade that government will say it, but it's a whole different thing. It's a whole, they're doing, like you said, they have Chinese here, the mining, in Virginia, in District 17 there, they have the same mining beach there. The Chinese people are the ones mining. What's the name? I'm trying to get the name. They are the ones mining the same, and then Liberians just sitting. But it's just bad in our country, Miss Gibson.
Yes, please, everyone subscribe on our Facebook page to LIB Future TV. That's where we covered the story in Marshall, where they are sand mining in Marshall. The people there have complained about it, and the EPA is like it doesn't even exist. The EPA doesn't do anything about it. It says landowners in the Pocopan community Marshall accused Zhao Ki Tao, Afri-Rock Investment, of mining on the Poor River bank without consent. Patricia Marsh and others say foreigners began clearing land slated for an eco lodge. EPA had issued a stop order in January 14, 26, but the owners' work continued. The dispute raises questions over the EPA and Mines Ministry oversight. And so, the government today, I think, you always call Safa the Facebook mayor. It's like the vice president is turning into the Facebook vice president. He takes the Facebook everywhere he goes now. Spoon TV everywhere he go. And today he was having these meetings with foreigners. You know, I think we need somebody who understands the economy and knows how to fix the economy. Going and having meetings with these people is not going to make the situation better. Okay. We need to have an economy that supports Liberians owning these companies. None of us Liberians are going to get up tomorrow and go open an ice cream manufacturing. shop. It's not, you have to have an economy put together for you to do that. You have to have your business license, your business form, you have to have the equipment, you have to have the money to rent the place. All of these things have to be in place. And it's not going to happen overnight. It has to, the government has to set up the environment to allow Liberians the chance to get into these industries. And I had asked Mr. Cummings about this when he was on our show. We had the first show, we interviewed him, and he talked about how to create the environment for businesses to be successful in Liberia. So take a listen to Mr. Cummings explaining to us how Liberians can go from being spectators in the economy to owning their own businesses and taking advantage of this Liberianization policy.
Things we need to do and can do to create jobs for our people. First of all, we have to recognize that the government is not the ultimate job creator. Our people need to understand that, and people in government need to understand that the government is to create an environment for the private sector to create jobs. And I'll talk about how we can do that. So, but that understanding is very important, because when you think about it, if the government is fully staffed, maybe they will hire 70,000 people, and that's too many, by the way. That's too big a government. But somewhere in that range, 60,000 to 70,000 people. The reality is we need to find about 2 million jobs. So government will never be able to employ all the people that need jobs. So people going to government got to understand that that's not your role. That your role is to create an environment for the private sector to create jobs. So how do you create this environment for the private sector to create jobs, Catherine? In no particular order, you gotta make sure your judiciary is working, the courts, so that people buying land, buying property, if they have business disputes, that is being adjudicated in a fair way, nobody calling the judge. You know them and say, Catherine, I'm a cousin there, even though she not, cheat her partner, but judge in her favor. So you gotta fix your judiciary. Mm-hmm. You gotta make business registration easy. The last time I checked, for over a year, the business registry, the website was down. You cannot encourage business if those basic things don't work. We gotta make sure for now, we put everything we consume. We gotta make sure getting things into and out of the country through the ports, we gotta make it easy. Mm-hmm. We gotta get rid of the corruption in the country. You want to start a business, you want to get something approved, everybody, the hands they're stopping you, you can't get stuff done. So you got to fix the corruption. You got to make the ease of doing business. We got to review all our regulatory environment, our taxation, and make it easy for the private sector. Then we got to invest in Liberian businesses. We got to provide credit, all the way from microcredit, from Maka women, Ghana boys, etc., all the way to middle-sized and big-sized Liberian business, provide funding, credit, financing for their loans, for them to invest and grow their businesses. We need to invest in agriculture. Agriculture is a great job creator. Mm. The budget this year that it passed, the allocation of agriculture actually went down. 2025, it was 15 billion, which was too low. This year, it's 13. The average should be something like investment like 10-20% of your budget should be in agriculture, right? And yet, agriculture is the first A in the arrest agenda. But the investment but agriculture is a great job, and not just farming. We should be investing in processing, right? Tourism is another job creator. We should be investing because, again, we have a lot of low-skilled people. Tourism, teaching people to offer service. You can create a lot of jobs quickly and low-skilled jobs, which is what the country needs, right? Housing is another investment area. Develop a mortgage bank where people can build housing. You encourage the housing industry, you're going to create jobs, right? So these are all examples of the things we need to do to create jobs in our country, fix the environment, business environment, judicial environment, reduce the stealing, make it easier to import and export, provide loans financing, and then invest in these sectors that are actually job creating sectors. And that's how you begin to grow the economy and create jobs for our people.
You're muted.
Oh, yeah. You see, you need somebody who understands this stuff. It's not all that simple, to be honest with you. It's a little bit, it's like more than just one thing that has to happen in order for the country to get moving. It has to have, the rule of law has to be in place. You have to provide loans, micro loans to market women, loans to Liberian businesses so they can buy the equipment to open up their stores to sell rice, open up their cinemas. There has to be loans offered to Liberian people. You have to fix the business registration. He said the website has been down. It doesn't even work. You can't even register your business unless you go in person. He talked about the agriculture, shifting the budget. So it's a lot of things that have to go into it. And this government does not know what to do, and they're not doing any of these things. The courts are corrupt. Right now people are backdating deeds and doing all kind of things in the court system. And if there's a corrupt court system, you cannot have a good business environment in the country. And so I don't know what meetings the vice president is having, but those meetings are not going to go anywhere because Liberians themselves need to be able to take over businesses, and they don't have the credit and the loans to do that. So how are they going to take over these stores if they don't have the money to do it?
Yeah, and indeed, it is just like I said, and I will always say so. Sometimes when these things have been said, I say, "Well, why you always say the negative?" It is not the negative; it is just the reality of 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 the things that should be, said. Now, I listened to one paragraph from what Mr. Cummins said that they was what he talked about giving macro loans and what have you. Today, there's this video on social media today. Earlier today, the LBS director Eugene Vagon. I don't know whether you came across that video.
Hmm.
Yes, and he had invited this lady uh, at at his office, the LBS office there in the compounds of LBS, and every time Fagon does something, he wants to go on social media for everybody to see what he's doing. Now, yeah, and that is just a form of curating. So he this video went out around. There was an interview with the lady, and then he asked her. She was packing, packaging her potato greens in the
Hmm.
market. And when the question was asked, and she said, the government, okay, you can put your own house in order, then you won't come to the government. So that was the only part he grabbed, and he got that part, took it that. But the other part, the woman, what she said, things that they need to do to give them, to improve their businesses, he did not take that one. So
Hmm.
he took her now, invited her to LBS and said, "Oh, somebody saw this video and they saw you the way because she said, only
Hmm.
because she said, oh, the government is okay, but you can face your own horse and then you won't come to the government." So according to
Hmm.
him, somebody sent $200 for the lady, and
Hmm.
then he himself, okay, the $100 is from me. Now, $100 only for you, $300. I mean, what would that do? You single out a person. Why not go to the market and visit that entire market? Everybody over there, give the people loans. It's not for you to single out one person because they say, "Oh, you can face your home, then you welcome to a government." That's a form of surety. These are the things that the Unity Party officials, when they do, and you say them, then they get angry.
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
wrong. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like Darius Dillon inviting all these young comedian kids to his
Yeah.
office and giving them one at a time. What
Yeah.
about the majority of children selling in the street?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not implementing the policies to fix the country? Why do you have these different gimmicks, these
Yeah.
different tricks that you
Yeah.
play on people? It's the same way they got elected. They play these little games.
Mm-hmm.
They giving this one person $300 when the majority of people that are selling the market say there's no money circulating in the country right now. And this is another thing they've done now is print all this money that's not going to be worth anything just
Yeah.
so that they can try to hide that the country is not doing well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they've run out of cash. They spent it all, so frivolously, and they don't have any money left to make payroll, to pay people, and the country is not going the right direction. Why? Because they don't know how to govern. In
Yeah.
this modern society that we have, this is a new world. Your neighbor, Sierra Leone, has moved on. Ghana has moved on.
Yeah.
Nigeria is moving on. They're in a different environment,
Mm-hmm.
so things are different. The tourists that Mr. Cummings is talking about, they're going to Ghana.
Yeah.
They're getting citizenship. Imagine Americans. Liberia is where we have the connection with America,
Mm-hmm.
but they are not seeing it to come to Liberia. Why? Because of some of the things that Ma Ellen talk about. The trash. The country is not ready for tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So, I see the gimmicks that they play. And today was another one with the vice president walking up and down, having meetings with these foreign businesses, but
Yeah.
have not set up the economy. Like Mr. Cummings said, we have to fix the rule of law. We have to fix, infrastructure. We have to fix electricity. We have to do the things necessary so that we can have a business environment. We have to loan money to our Liberians so they have the money to buy their market, to sell their market, to open up their own stores. These are the things that we're going to have to do in the country in order to fix it so that the Liberianization policy can be, put in place. He did an interview with OKFM this week too. I think he talked about these same things. Let's take a listen.
We want to implement policies that will immediately affect the lives of ordinary Nigerians. So we want to immediately, for example, I'll give you multiple examples. We want to immediately invest heavily in healthcare, what we call primary healthcare. What kills most Liberians? Virus. These are facts, right? In no particular order. Malaria, typhoid, hypertension, diabetes, childbirth. I think there's 6, there's one I'm forgetting. We need to make sure we got clinics with drugs, healthcare workers paid, nurses, midwives, birthing rooms. Those things will impact people's lives right away. We want to make sure we're paying the people that do the real work, police officers, healthcare workers, teachers, the military people, civil servants, pay them what I call a living wage, at least $400 a month. It will impact their lives right away. We want to make sure we're offering loans to Liberian businesses, all the way from micro loans, market women, etc., to medium and large Liberian businesses, great financing for them to grow and expand their businesses. It will help them directly. We want to implement a national youth service program to help with the unemployment issue. It's not the ultimate solution to unemployment, but it's a bridge to unemployment. Then we want to invest in those things that will create jobs and generate growth. We will invest more in agriculture. The first A in the arrest agenda is agriculture. Mm-hmm. If you look at the original budget, I think they were investing, allocated like $30 million in agriculture. You can't be serious if you're doing that, right? In the supplemental budget, I think they only allocated another $500,000 or $1 million. Agriculture is a growth driver. It's a job creator. And when I say invest in agriculture, I don't mean just farming. Farming plus building factories to add value to our agricultural products, right? So we investing in housing. Housing, Liberians need housing. It will create jobs, by the way, and it will solve a problem, right? That's another opportunity. Investing in tourism, right? If you look at Kenya today, look at South Africa today, look at Senegal today, look at the Gambia, big part of the economy is all about tourism. We got 350 miles of beaches in Liberia. We got mountains, waterfalls, all that kind of stuff, right? So those are things we'll invest in that will directly begin to influence the life.
And you think the current government, headed by your friend, is not doing some of those things?
No, I mean, look at the allocation of the budget. Clarence, again, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. My favorite quotation from Albert Einstein.
That's gone so well.
We are allocating, so the budget is now gone to over $1 billion. Right? By the way, in 2017, as you know, at the debate, I said back then that our budget should be more than $1 billion United States dollars, and I was ridiculed. And we should have been there long time ago faster. Okay, we're there now. Check. By the way, it should be even $2 billion plus, and I can tell you why. But even though we got this increased amount, we're allocating the same way into recurring expenses, right? Into investing in the government instead of investing in the people, right? Why are we not investing into electricity, into water systems? I mentioned into tourism, into agriculture. Those are things paying civil servants more so they have a living wage. Why we're not taking that incremental money and allocating it differently than we have in the past? Instead, we're investing more in the legislature. 103 people, over $50 million United States dollars. Why? When the average teacher...
Why do you think our budget will go up to
So he keeps saying the same thing in a little bit different way, but he's saying we have to invest more in Liberians in order for us to have a better economy instead of investing $50 million in 103 people. Why are we doing that? Why are we and who makes the budget? The president. Which is why when people say, oh, let Cummings go as vice president, the president is the one who makes the budget, not the vice president. When the people say, oh, let Cummings go as senator, no, the president is the one who makes the budget, not a senator, not a representative. If you want to see change, if you want to see jobs, he is the one that has to make the budget. The budget is where you decide you're not going to pay the legislature $50 million. Instead, you're going to put most of the money in electricity. You put most of the money in microloans for market women, most of the money in loans for businesses, for Liberian-owned businesses, most of the money in paying civil servants $300 to $500. I think they did something, what do they call, harmonization?
Yeah, the harmonization. That was the CDC regime.
They made the money less so that they could spread. So this is a different theory, philosophy, and different way to govern. The CDC felt that they should grow the government workers by adding more people and paying them less. That's what they did. That's what they decided to do for their agenda. Mr. Cummings says the government should not be the major employer in the country. It should be private companies. The government can only employ so many people. So when the CDC chopped people's money, they were doing that so they could add more people on the government payroll. Mr. Cummings said, no, that's not how to grow the economy. You have to have a smaller government, pay people more money in the civil servants, and grow the private sector so investors can come in the country and add more jobs. The major employer in the country should be private sector. But you cannot have a good private sector, my people, if you don't have a rule of law, if you don't have clean streets, if you don't have good roads. These are the things that people want to see when they come in the country. They want to see it look nice and see it look pretty and your beaches are clean and those kind of things. So that's what Mr. Cummings has said. We have to change the way we spend. Why are you spending $50 million? Why don't you spend the money to clean the city?
Mm.
Why does Patrick Hunter need $3,500 generator plus a salary plus a scratch card plus cars plus driver plus why does he need that to do his job, Jefferson?
That's a big question, though. Yeah, it's a
He's
big
just
question
one
because.
person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that across the whole government. They just spend so much money on government officials.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Spend lots of money on for nothing travels. When these people who travel, they go and come empty-handed. They come with their hands swinging. Yeah. Oh yes, they come with their hands just swinging. When last did the minister of how many times the minister of information Geraldine Pia had not traveled with with the president? How many times Mamaka Ability hasn't traveled with the president? What do they bring to the country? Just the same thing the CDC was doing. Go and take pictures, eat lobsters, post on social media, come back to the country and come and make mockery of the people and want to say the CDC did it and you're doing it too. I mean, you you have to create the avenue, open up the private sector. I mean, make the country accessible, market the country. That's what a responsible government does. You market your nation for investors out there, for tourists out there to see and come back. But then I can go to Liberia. I think I can invest in Liberia. I can
Mhm.
invest into the energy sector. I can invest into agriculture. But you have one agriculture minister who will just leave here, go lofa, and go and stand among the people or in Bon County among the people, hold one small knife, and he says he's harvesting with the people. I mean, what are you doing? Go out there and bring machines, equipment for the people.
Mechanism, mechanized
Yes,
farming.
mechanized farming. Yes, but these things will not work
So
because
yeah,
yeah,
I saw the president. He said he got a peace award.
yeah,
Then he went and met with some people in the University of California, took pictures with them, said they're going to help to create rice.
yeah.
Or you go all the way to California for somebody to help grow rice in Liberia. There's people growing rice in Liberia right now. Julius J had a whole recording of a company in Liberia, a man who is trained already growing rice. He knows how to grow rice in Liberia. Why is it the government is not giving him a loan to expand his facility to hire more people and grow more rice? He already knows how to do it. That's how you support Liberians. Why are you going way to California to take picture with people there and say they're gonna help us to grow rice?
I mean, yeah, and we sometimes in 2025 last year, we went to Tori in District One here in Montserrat. So we are going to Tori. Kia Radio was we were touring the country, going from county to county. So we went to Tori. There was this guy, you know, he had a very big cassava farm, a large farm, and according to him, because when we met him, doing some processing, so we interviewed him. He said to us, and it was so frustrating. I have my cassava farm. I mean, it is mature now. It has reached the stage of harvesting. But Ms. Gibson, we're interested to know that the guy told us that he had gone to people, he has sent out, you know, his proposals to other people, to even the Ministry of Agriculture, at least to help so that somebody could come and buy, or the government could come in and help him harvest, buy the cassava, process it, and so that it can be used. But he tried all efforts, and the cassava was just under the ground, spoiling, and animals and other things were coming, eating. Imagine what would it have done to the Ministry of Agriculture, to the government of Liberia, to have helped this man who used his own resources and all of those things? What would it have done? So it is just you, work travel. The president, when he just took over, he went to the States there in America. He had a meeting with diaspora Liberians, the business people there, a business meet conference he had. He did not take anybody from the Chamber of Commerce here, anybody from how to call Patel. Oh, let's go, to go and have this conference. He just went and they had a meeting. Since then, what has changed? What has happened? Nothing. So it's just like I said, travel, come back with swinging hands, and you say we sign MOU.
Right.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Nonsense. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Look, one of the things that frustrates me about Liberians, as soon as Mr. Cummings come out and talk about these policies and what he's going to do, how he's going to fix the country, and the ideas he has, then that's when you have the Unity Party people and all their little minions come on social media and start writing all kind of tabata.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
last time, we're going to switch to the topic number 2.
Mhm.
This last time, it was somebody on social media, and he was asking, why can't Cummings develop Maryland County and put a factory in Maryland County? Why can't Cummings use his money? Oh, Mr. Cummings got $100 million from Coca-Cola. Mr. Cummings is a 1%. Why he cannot use his money? So Mrs. Cummings got on Facebook and corrected the record. Jefferson.
Yeah.
She lit in.
Hmm.
Lit into that person. And she said to them, she got so many comments on social media. She said, I will not sit quietly by and as they create lies and a false narrative about Alexander B. Cummings. Too many people on this platform use it negatively, attempt to scar and damage individuals. So the person, he said he tried to post Mr. Cummings' house in Atlanta. She said the first post of that home is not even the home of Alexander
Yeah.
Cummings. Do your
Hmm.
research properly and post facts, not fiction. Then she said, then the person said, oh, Mr. Cummings is charging rent in,
Hmm.
in his building. And she says, yes, the building has 6 floors. There's no rooftop pool. And she said, it's a business. Of course, you're going to charge rent in a business. Have you ever known any place where people live for free in an
Obviously, you
apartment?
have to pay rent. Yeah.
She said, then the person said that Mr. Cummings was staying with Madame Salif when he decided to come back to Liberia. She said, your comment regarding Madame Salif is a fabrication. She said Mr. Cummings has a brilliant mind of his own, and he made the decision to move back to Liberia, and he never stayed with Madame Salif in the fish market. In fish market. Then she said, please provide proof that Mr. Cummings received $100 million package from Coca-Cola. I don't think the Coca-Cola company would approve of you making lies and fabricating numbers. And then she talked about when he said something about LGBTQ2. She said, are you trying to say he's gay? She said, the only thing you do is push lies when you do not have any means to discuss the topics, the substance. You see, when Mr. Cummings come out and he tries his best to say, this is how we're going to create jobs in the country. This is how we're going to fix the country, bring electricity. This is how we're going to do tourism. We're going to build housing. He talk about all these things. The first thing they do is say, oh, this is your house. This is your house. This is this. This is that. And she went out and told this man, you know what the man did?
Mm.
He came back and he said, I'm sorry. I will leave this alone. I respect you, Mother Teresa. You are like a mother to me.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
Yep. Yep. That's what he says. That you are like a mother to me.
Mm.
Yeah. And so she stood up to him and said, and then she said, please show me one president of this country who has used his personal money to build up the infrastructure of the country or create wealth for the citizens. I
Mm.
only asked for one. That's what she said.
That was
What
an
did
open
George Weah?
challenge.
Yes, she said. Did George Weah use his own money before he became president to build the infrastructure of the country? Did Joseph Boakai? What did he build before he became president?
Mm. And
Any,
first,
any answer? Any answer? Did he build anything?
mm.
Did they
Well,
build anything?
no, 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 no,
Nothing.
not
So how can
nothing.
you say, how can you say, Mr. Cummings should use his personal money to build? And I on LIB Future TV, we did a list, Jefferson. We wrote a article here of Mr. Cummings' contributions to Liberia for those people who are confused, right?
Mm.
Says Cummings constructed a bridge that connects Big Town to Tubman University in Harper, Maryland. He sponsored a $50,000 clinic in Nimba County, provided beds to aid and save rape victims at Women's Aid Incorporated, donated mattresses and supplies to drug rehabilitation centers, and gave packages to disadvantaged youth in West Point. He provided $5 million in microloans, Liberian $5 million in microloans to market women. He trained over 150 businesses in Liberia and provided two businesses with $15,000 investment.
Mm.
Invested in 120 farmers in Nimba County to increase agricultural support. Supported 50 women in Liberia with job opportunities in tourism and crafts in the conference in Morocco. Donated $5.2 million Liberian dollars to Nimba Community College for construction of science and engineering college. Donated 2 containers of medical supplies to 6 hospitals worth $565,000 US. J.J. Dawson Memorial Hospital, C.B. Dunbar Medical Center, Banga, Wang County, Government Hospital, Buchanan Grand Bassa, C.H. Renal Hospital, Kakata Makibi, Curran Lutheran Hospital, Zozo Lofa County, Fishtown Hospital, and River G. During COVID-19, he distributed food to residents in Grand Bassa, Grand Cape Mount County. He worked with Project Last Mile to provide logistics and medical supplies to treat HIV in Margibi in 2 hospitals and 10 health centers. I can go on all night, Jefferson. I'm not even halfway done with this list.
Wow.
Maybe next week I will do some more. The man has done so much in Liberia. But what he says is, as a private citizen, I cannot change the country. Only the president has the power to fix Liberia, and that's why I'm running for Liberia. That's why I don't even need the salary. Look at how much I'm giving to the country. I don't need the salary. I just want to fix this country and change it for the better. You see? So Ms. Cummings really came out strong today and took a stand against all of these people on the internet just making up lies about Mr. Cummings. And as you see, for the Liberia Future TV, my family here in Liberia Future TV every Friday night, whenever he comes out, you will notice. As soon as he come out, you will see these people coming out on the internet. Oh, he's a 1%. Oh, he's a this. Oh, he's a gay. Oh, he's a that. because they don't want to change the system. They don't want to change the system. They don't want to fix this country. They get in their little scratch car or whatever from these representatives, and they're fine with that. That's all they're happy about. But that's not enough. You can't raise a family on handouts.
Yeah, sure. Of course, you can't. And I mean, these are these are things. Sometimes I frown at people because I can remember uh, during the I mean, before Madam Salif became president, we had just come from war, though, but there was nothing that she did that, oh, this is what Madam Salif did, or what she has done for this country. She has built this thing, so we're going to vote her. Liberians voted her because they believed then that she was the right person for the nation. Two times. And Josh Weah. So there was nothing. Oh, he built this thing. So if then I will say that Joshua had a radio station comparing, to what Mrs. Cummings wrote, that yes, when the person in fact questioned the apartments of Mr. Cummings that he's taking rent, then I would say the radio station Kings FM that Josh Weah built, he was using it as business. He should have donated that station to the country. Since Madam Sali was in power, he should have said this station, uh, Royal Communications, belongs to Liberia, rather than you know Josh Weah's own property. So, but these are politics. These are the way the politics are played in a country. And I will always say to people, this question about what have you done, what have you done, what have you done, if we continue to dwell on this path, we'll miss out a lot of things, good things that's supposed to happen for the country. A lot of good things are supposed to happen for the country. What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? With all of the things, I'm a journalist, but I'm a Liberian as well, and I speak my own opinion. I remember somebody one time we visited Kakata. Yes, I still remember Kakata, and they were, because we are going there on our tour again, and they were saying what Mr. Cummings has done. It was the time the Unity Party just came to power. Mr. Cummings this, Mr. Cummings was a very good man. In fact, the results that came out for Mr. Cummings was not a result. Yeah, because we from Markibi here, we know what we did for Mr. Cummings. We know the votes. So some of those results, because we know what he did for the hospitals, for people, especially for the school year, our BWI, you know. And so when they talked about those things, and then looking at the results that came in, then we started to say, wow, well, the Liberians did what they could. So I mean, a whole lot of things will happen, but like they've been complaining, Mr. Cummings can come out. There's an opportunity now to go and see. Like, I mean, on tomorrow is the second. So I would say today now, because we are already in the next day. Yes, so few minutes from now, or that's a few hours from now, you know, you go to Kabafi there in Bannersville, and you go and have I mean, it's an engagement one-on-one with Mr. Cummings. For those of you who have not seen him, who have complained that he doesn't come out, well, you could go and use the opportunity, and you go there and speak and talk and meet him one-on-one. If you have the opportunity to say what you want to say in a very polite manner, not in some derogatory form or so, you say what you're supposed to say. But well, that's what it is. We have to make this country better. You can't keep making mistakes. Liberia, we've come a long way. Yes, Miss Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, we looking forward to consistent electricity, internet. We're looking for the children to go to good schools, healthcare. That's a big thing. As we all getting older, we need to be able to go to the doctor and afford our care. People should be paying at least $300 to $400 a month to live off of. You cannot live off of $75, $80. You can't live off of that. You need a living wage. You know, the Liberians need to take control of our economy. And people keep saying, "Oh, it's sweet words that that they're talking." No, it's not sweet words. It's not sweet words. The issue is you have someone who ran $1 billion budget, who ran all of Coca-Cola across the entire Africa and then globally. He knows how to run systems like this. None of these other people have run anything close to that kind of complicated, system. So I think we should definitely give him a chance at the top of the ticket, not as VP, because we want him to change, and change only comes at the top of the ticket, not as senator, not as representative. We want to change the country, fix the country. We need him to be at the top of the ticket. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about tonight is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Madam Iron Lady, EJS. I said she was looking so sweet and nice, but what came out of her mouth was just fire. She was firing left and right. I said her brain is very quick. Jackson, she started talking about the mayor, why the city is dated. And she said he just put him poster up, enriching himself. I think he's in some kind of business with printing and things like that, the way how she was talking. But she said he was enriched. Somebody was getting enriched. That's what she said. But not focusing on cleaning the city. Then she got on Jeremiah Kuhn. Jeremiah Kuhn, then she started saying Jeremiah Kuhn was speaking like a fool, talking about, people are corrupt, foreigners are more corrupt than Liberians are corrupt, foreigners steal more than Liberians steal. She said that's excusing people, excusing corruption in the country. And she said leaders don't speak that way. That's why I can't even imagine him even being the president, because of the things he says. Sometimes you wonder, like that comment you talked about earlier, when we're talking about foreign policy, Guinean soldiers. Okay. First of all, you all are just starting to interview army people to join the army. Why are you waiting till there's a problem to start hiring soldiers? But they're talking about somebody who can take a Guinean town, and what are you talking about? So she got on the vice president about that, and then the next thing she said was Joseph Boakai, the president doesn't call her for advice. He never called her to help on the border situation. And we've covered that on this show, why he doesn't reach out to George Weah, why he doesn't reach out to, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Alex Cummings, to help with this border situation. We've talked about that before, and she said, she confirmed he has not done that. He hasn't reached out. And then Jefferson, she said the projects that he's working on. All
initiated.
All initiated under her government. And nothing he's done is showing where he has any vision for himself. He hasn't created any kind of new projects or new initiatives. Everything has been completing what was started under her administration. So the women spoke out, Mrs. Cummings spoke out, and then Madam Sirleaf spoke out.
Yeah, and indeed, beginning with the third, I just the city. I've just put some photos there, so maybe you could upload them and so the public could see. Yeah, so that's Center Street, that's Central Monrovia. You're looking at there.
What?
Yeah, that's
no
street, like an ancient city.
Oh,
Yes. So it's like a painting, like an Asian city. That's Center Street you're looking
that's
at
the
there.
dirt. That's the trash all
That's how,
along
yeah,
the.
yeah, that's how Safat, the Facebook mayor, had turned Central Monrovia into. Imagine, and that's where the
Wow.
foreign influencer, Facebook influencer came. He tried to film that area, and then
Mhm.
he was arrested. Yeah, so you see how Center Street is.
Yeah, the
Imagine
people
the famous.
walking down the street next to
Yeah,
all this trash.
yeah, those are all Zogos. You see there. So Center Street now, vehicles don't pass over there any longer. They have been it has been blocked from the UN Drive end, so you don't enter and get out. Just
Mm,
behind, at the back of the Ministry of Public Works, the back gate, and you see that's the famous Palm Grove Cemetery.
mm.
Used to be clean one time. Used to be clean. You have uh, the grave of former President Totman, the former former President Weah's family. They're there, and other great people. They're buried over there. But you see how it is. That's just one. You see the other. That's just one of the images you see in there.
But the president came to California and told everybody that Liberia
Yeah,
is well.
you see there. Yeah. So
The next one, you want me to go to the
yeah,
next?
yeah. You
Oh,
see that. Now you see Center Street, they straight to look at the ocean.
wow. Now,
Go and see.
Mr. Cummings said we have 350 miles of beachfront.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful beachfront. Look at all this trash. How can you invite tourists to come? Look at this.
Yeah.
What?
So you see there, you see, I mean, very close to the beach, to the sea, to the ocean. That particular place that could be a very beautiful place, could beautify the city. And these are images that a June was in the air and just flashed. Because you make it look appear that the city is clean. How can the city be clean when Center Street is like this? And you
Mm,
say the city is clean.
mm,
What about people who live on Center Street? There's a school there. They have a school over there.
mm.
What about those children who go to school there? And the people sell food, the pepper color, the roasted fish, right there.
No. Near the dirt? Near the
Yeah.
trash?
Yes. 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 Just there. A police station is there. Why? Why would the mayor then will come to say and this? So he will not show this place every time he goes live to clean the city. He will not go over there to show it. No, he dares not go there to do it because obviously, if he goes there, that will be, I don't know. Somebody will say the name of gingerbread or what.
I remember when they were campaigning, he was always out cleaning up with a group of people, and they were always cleaning the city as if they were really going to keep the city clean
Yeah.
when they won this election. And look at this. Now, if you took that trash out,
Mhm.
how beautiful
Yeah.
Syria is.
That could be a very beautiful. I mean, a recreational center could be over there. Just make it look beautiful. Put something there. Uh, but because nobody is burying over there anymore, and they don't do any interment there. So why keep the place like that? What happened to all the landfills? What is? I mean, what? That's why sometimes we say this mayor is not innovative because he doesn't go out there to bring in companies, the investors that will come and equipment. Oh, please, we need something. We need to help. I mean, help us clean so that they can clean the city. No, but you chase after people who are selling. You go take somebody, goods. You put it in a pickup. The energy you're using to take those people goods. Why don't you? I mean, just put the energy in there and get trucks and get.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Why?
I see that they keep harassing people on the street, taking their market from them.
Yeah.
This the last picture here. What is this we're looking at?
That's it. That's Center Street. That's the same place. You see
Is that
over
a
there.
graveyard?
That's the graveyard. Now
So
you
people
have,
are living in the graveyard.
yeah, people live there. Zogos, they go there, they live there. You see how bad it is.
Oh,
How bad it is. And then you say the city is clean. Madam
yeah.
Selifton, we used to drive through. You drive through Central Street over there. You drive and get to UN Drive. From Benson Street, you drive there and get through, get to UN Drive. 6 years on the Joshua as well. But I mean, just in 3 years,
Hmm.
look at in 3 years, look at the heart of the city.
No,
This
no.
is
Now Benson Street is where I go get my clothes sold.
mm,
Then it's a shame. It's a shame that the Unity Party ran a trick on people. Like they are the king and queen of propaganda.
mm,
They will, like you said, Eugene Fagon will bring somebody to his office and give them $300.
yeah,
No, they won't show you this on video. They will just show you what they want you to see, uh, on the Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah, they create, as soon as Mr. Cummings come out with solution, poop, they on the internet. 1%, 1%, 1%.
yeah, yeah.
They try to play these games on people, but the reality is agriculture, rule of law, roads, education, sanitation, tourism, none of it. None of it. And I know some of our LIB Future TV family will call here and say, "We're trying. They're trying. They're doing well." No, no, they're not. They're not. We need a
Mm,
change in this country. We need a change in this country. You know, uh, this is, we can't keep doing the same thing and and expecting something different.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
I just every time I feel for the people who live over there, the kids who are there, the food they eat. Imagine living near this. Sometimes I just don't like to talk about it because we've talked, no solution. Shafa was he just needed the job, so the money he spent, the volunteers that he had, they gave him a job now. He's complacent. He feels that I must get my money and go back to the States because right after this, the Unity Party is now in power. Shafa is going back.
Hmm.
He's going back to the US and go sit there, enjoy his money, and start running his mouth on other governments that will be here, which is bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was right on when she said the country is filthy and dirty and it's not getting cleaned.
Hmm.
It's not there's a lot of problems, and she pointed those out in the interview. I was very happy, to hear her speak because she used to be president. So she would know what can be done and what cannot be done. And she pointed out a lot of things that needed to be done.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know she talked about the vice president. She talked about the president doing more in the country.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, what can you expect from someone of his age and his ability? I mean, Joseph Buckeye, in all the 40 something years of government, he has nothing tangible that he can point to and say, I was successful in this. Okay. When he was in the agriculture, do you see anything that he did that you can say he was successful at this?
No.
No. None of his positions as vice president, nothing. Even when he left office, he had 42 years of salary and he was still living off of loans from people. People were still giving him money and helping him to get by. So why would he be able to help the country if he could not help himself, Jefferson?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, even the farm the president has in Bapulu, So for 12 years, vice president, what benefit did the farm bring to the people? Now, so he took over, he started tour, he went there, and they started to show his farm. The president got fish, pond, he has this, his rice farm, but all of those things is just fly. You can see what benefit, what impact they're making in the lives of the people, even the very people who are there, on the farm working, and the neighboring communities, how are they benefiting? So, I mean, you do things so that your legacy will go and say, yeah, people, this is what I mean. It was good. This is one, but you've come to power, and you just mess the whole state up, and kind of like everybody's frustrated. Nobody can say the few people you see them, you hear or saying good thing are those who are living in the pockets of these politicians. They take telephone, they call them the colors brigade. So those are the people who will say, oh yes, but who in their right senses will look at Center Street and they say the city is clean? Who? So you go to Waterside, it's worse again. Look at Waterside, Water Street wasn't like that. There wasn't dirt part over there. But why is it that there's dirt down Waterside on Water Street? Why? Between Randall and Randall and Galley Street intersection. Why is it that you have dirt all over there? You come between Randall and McLean Street down Waterside, dirt. Then Center Street, I mean, nobody goes over there again. No vehicle passes over there. Why? Because that has become the new landfill under the Unity Party government, under Mayor Siafa. Wrong. In the city, this is bad, man. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah, 2029 is coming. 2029 is coming. We think it's far, but it's not far.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you know, let's see. It is 976 days to 2029. So it's not that far, even though it seems far. We have a lot of work to do.
Mm,
Tomorrow, I think tomorrow or tonight, like you said, in the morning is an engagement. Go there, go to District 11, go to Kaba Sports Fish, meet Mr. Cummings, get involved, start talking to your neighbors. You don't have to wait for the ANC to come to your area. Go start talking to your neighbors and tell them it's time for us to change this country. We can't keep on this way. We can't keep doing this. We have to, you know, we have to change. We have to change, and we need a change. So it starts with you. I am doing my part. I'm on this station. You do your part. Get out there and talk to your neighbors, because we cannot keep doing this. What is happening is not working. Arrest agenda is dead. Okay? Arrest agenda is dead. There will not be an agriculture because they don't allocate enough money in the budget. They put too much money in their own pocket.
mm,
So there will not be sanitation. They're just not doing it. There will not be tourism, because up until now, Joseph Boca has gone everywhere, my people. Where hasn't he gone? He's been to every country. You never see any of these people come follow him back.
no.
There's no tourism. I think they said the foreign minister now, the minister of finance.
Yeah.
He's just the
Singapore.
IMF minister now. He's just looking for loan, 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 loan. Everywhere he's trying to borrow money from everywhere, print money. They don't know how to generate jobs. They're passing all these different fees on people to try to generate taxes on people. So arrest is not happening. And that's the real truth. But But Jefferson, you want to open the phone lines? Let's see what our LIB Future TV family has to say tonight.
Sure. So, folks, you out there, you're listening to 95.9 Care Radio, and the program here is LIB Future TV Week in Review. We've covered a lot of topics tonight. We talked about the liberalization policy, statements made by the Vice President. We analyzed them, Madam Salif, Mr. Cummings as well. What his plans for the nation, his plans for the economy, how he intends on booming the economy, all of those things we talked this morning. It's time that we interact with you. Also, his engagement, his most rather engagement. He has been in other parts. He's been in District 17, and so he will be in District 11 tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. So you there? Let's hear you. 0777 959 959 0777 959 959 0881 0889 283 938. Yes, let's listen to you this morning. What do you have to say? You've listened to what we said. We've said here, and the conversations about Madam Series talked about the city being dirty as well, and she talked about freedom of speech, the expulsion of Yeke Kaluba. That it was way too much. But let's take calls now. This person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Your name, where you call from?
Yeah, I'm calling from District 11. I'm Joseph Chris.
Joseph, let's hear you.
Yeah. I love the topic under discussion this morning because all those things we're talking about the betterment of Liberia. But when we're discussing Cummings and Cummings Ellen, look at Ellen. Ellen, you were in power for 12 years where you were planning to help Liberia. But the moment we have made mistake, we voted for Ellen. Second term, you know what Ellen is to do? Ellen is to give job to the contractor then. Even me that here in early government, I almost gone crazy because I'm one of the general construction engineer who went to go work Grand Crew, who based us on Grand Stairs Road. Nothing we don't receive. The time the contractor came to Monrovia to receive our salary, that money they put money behind it to African Development Bank until we don't receive money. We have came back into Monrovia, let us scatter. None of them, nothing we don't able to receive. All of other went to in Grand Crew to go develop that area. That the big better than that will be going transporting on Monrovia so that better cool road. We don't able to receive nothing. For me, that early government, 3,000 United States dollars, that what they hold me in early government. So Ellen, she says she a blunder and she makes a lot of mistakes in this country. Then she when she wake up, she wants to speak like always her one book or always her one do better thing in this country. And let me make Cummings to understand. Cummings, I hope he will become president or he will make it, but he will not be 2029. Because 2029 will carry JMB back. Because for we the Liberian citizens, what we are saying, the criminals that used to embarrass us in this country. Now, I can even hold my phone, my work from here to New Jersey and Banave. Nothing can happen to me. I'll be working peacefully. Nobody will harass you. Because as I saying now, security all on the road. Sitting down PSU people on the road. You walk peacefully. You can get your driver, say you eat. You in peace. Yeah, but you know, they smiling. Or last time said it was problem. Somebody used to harass for New Jersey Junction. You be working coming said they will harass to my LA last time. I'm not talking about Joya because it was west.
Okay.
So I love the topic under discussion, yeah?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, this is Udo Huskins. I call from somewhere around the POA Broadville.
Okay. Let's hear you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion, but I'm a little bit baffled about discussion by the lady still saying that the arrest agenda has failed. I think that's a delusion to me.
Okay.
Because if the arrest agenda has failed, you talk about education. The president is building 100 schools in counties, and that is an improvement in education. You also talk about agriculture. Agriculture also have a plan and framework right now in our country that is working to make like bread sustainable in rice production. You talk about tourism.
No,
Let me finish.
Agriculture, you say what?
We had a grand framework and a strategy that is personally in place to make like bread sustainable. That plan will work in the next 3 years. Then let me tell you about the tourists. The tourists are, I think it's the very first time that we have 2 tourist cruise ships that have entered Liberia. The past weekend, we had a cruise ship with 260 persons who came to tour Liberia from different European countries. Previously, it was in November when we had the first cruise ship, where the people when the cruise ship landed, and it came with roughly about 50 crew members. This time around, it's 260. But you just say the tourist sector is not working. I don't understand. Maybe you talk about Derek to Central Street. Derek to Central Street can be removed, but not saying the arrest agenda is not working. I disagree 100% with that. Even the roads, you see the road have been created from all the way to the loom, back all the way to Beaumont's Bridge. You know that. And you say arrest agenda is not working. They won't fair to the discussion. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your point, brother. 0777 959 959. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Your name, where you join from?
My name is Terrence. I join you from Ekiti Community,
Pinsville. Let's hear you, Terrence.
All right. I want to say, I've heard that in the first color, and that's the color that come on just now. My brother, they get certain people don't know what they want. They get plenty of people, they don't know what they want, they don't know what they like. I know. The first color talking when you go Panafia, no criminal, you know how many criminal oil, right? You know how many criminal oil, right? You don't have no job for other people than people who gone before were in here from there. You know how many baba things going on in the government? You know how many that they are not helping us? The youth. I'm a potential man. I'm a 31-year-old man, my brother. I did wedding, I did electricity, no job. I was having my own area that I paid, doing small welding job there. At the end of the day, they put it one at it. People breaking people area down, giving them chicken around, calling like burning people doors. I know what other people are saying. If you're Sunday, you see the truth, you want to talk it. The people don't know what they want. My man, I'm very disappointed in the people that call Jenna and saying that arrest agenda is working. And you know all the kind of thing. Nigga shit for that said. And young people are suffering, but people getting homeless in bro. I know what you know, but I want to, bro. People are getting homeless. They getting chicken. You understand? They were before people come and say they play not for you again. They play for different person. No benefit, bro.
Okay.
I know what's going on in the country, bro. What is going on the state, bro? I mean, hey, man, like Jasmine said, man, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Jasmine.
Thank you. 0777 959 959 0777 959 95. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Asik. We are calling from District 14.
Let's hear you, Asik.
Yeah, my color I just moved from there on his shop. The two people that move on, they're not really following. People are giving the plastic their money now, like 2 and 3 talking. Nothing going on in the country that we see said to see coming with the government. They coming 2029 that I don't come in with Kevin. I always say that when you eat cassava, you change the soup and eat bamboto.
Thank you, Asik. Thank you, Mr. Uya. Yes, this is LIB Future TV weekend review here on 95.9 Kia Radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you call from?
I call you from Chikitu Fati, Ipenta, Palace, Komedu. Son of Joseph Parker.
Okay, son of Joseph Parker, let's hear you.
Yeah. You are discussing what is coming a contribution in the country.
Did you
money they can open a company that will cost $5 million.
Hello?
to help Liberian people.
Can I ask you? Did you actually follow the conversation?
Yeah.
So did you listen to
you're playing Komi?
No.
Passing about the economy these jazz.
Did you listen to
what? President?
No. Did you listen to what? Did you listen to his contribution in education, in health, when he was being listed? Did you listen?
He contributed to health and education. Like to educate people. Everybody can do that same thing. Come on, people that educated people.
So isn't that a contribution? So isn't that a contribution? Isn't that something?
What did his father Joseph Walker do?
Just 35 million. 30 brother. Our Liberian people don't want to help us. Let me tell you, my brother, that would be the CEO team. That would be the CEO team.
So what was Mr. President Puaka's contribution before becoming president? No, I'm asking you. No, it shouldn't be rhetorical question. It shouldn't be rhetorical.
Did you listen to coming from our president?
No, I'm asking you now. You brought up what Kumi has done. So I'm asking you, what did President Puaka do before becoming president?
Well, what I say, the people are the they can contribute to what the people left. They want to pay out for the two, so they use the people money.
You still have not money, but you have not answered my question. What was President Puaka's contribution to the nation? What factory, $1 million factory that he built before becoming president?
That's the same thing I discussing.
You still have not answered.
People.
You didn't answer me. You said saying.
All the people have seen, my brother.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Take other people. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, name me where you call from.
Yeah, and thank you. I'm Moaba Joseph from Lokintown, Uzale.
Moaba Joseph, let's hear you.
Just with 15.
Yes.
Yeah, let me first of all start with this, and for the lady who insisted there, and people who you just gave a picture to us for Central Street, right? Like they got funding within the Central Street have been blocked. Well, can you give us multiples of petrol evidence for the 6 years where Wayland, Waterside, Douala, where that became a mountain?
Yeah.
Where that side became a graveyard.
We're discussing the two administrations. What did they do? What have they done?
So today, only that said one Central Street people want to talk about. Why you can't get other areas and tell the people about other areas? What it is the same thing today.
Waterside.
Waterside today. It is the same the way the mountains need to be like.
But there's a mountain. There are mountains of dirt on Waterside.
No. I dare you to give that picture to her.
Douala Market.
I dare you to give that picture to her for Waterside, for Wayland, from Douala. Anyway, it's South industry.
You sure? When last did you visit Waterside? I was in Waterside today. When last did you visit Waterside? On Water Street.
Tomorrow I can call you Waterside already.
Thank you, brother.
One more call, Jefferson.
Somebody seen it, but come in get no space here. You're just soft yourself.
Our reporters have been to Douala Market.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your point. Yeah, Miss Gibson, you want to come in?
Yeah, we have a guest here. We have a co-host, Duke JJ. Welcome to the show. You've been listening.
Hey, Catherine, thank you. You guys are doing well. The show usually starts earlier than I'm available, but I was able to catch it on today. So, I've been listening. Great conversation so far.
Good. What do you have anything to add? We talked about Mr. Cummings coming out. A lot of our LIB Future TV family has been asking for him to come out. He's going to be in District 11 tomorrow or tonight, or in the morning, I should say, right, Jefferson? He'll be at District 11 at 10 a.m. and we talked about his job creation. We talked about the women, Madam Salif and Mrs. Cummings coming out today. Anything touch you today?
Well, brilliant job as a comments. The grassroots is where the focus needs to be. So I'm glad that he's getting out there to interact with his people. More of those, will be able to give him the kind of reach that he needs to have. So I'm happy that's happening. Yeah, I've been paying attention to a lot that's happening. Let me say this. Mrs. Cummings is fiery. I had a chance to do an interview a couple years ago, right before the election, and she was brilliant. She's masterful. She's that secret weapon that we have in our arsenal, and I hope she's out there, frequently talking on these national issues as well, because she's very intelligent, very, very knowledgeable as well. But yeah, the essence of that response was not because she wanted to quickly react, or respond to someone who she felt was, attacking her spouse. It was about, witnessing this a pattern of dishonesty that has actually, corrupted our society. It has become a norm wherein people say things without facts, right? And they expect everybody to believe it. So she was very, intelligent and precise on her responses, and I'm glad she came up. Look, you may mention something about the economy. We have been saying this for a long time, that the reason why we support Mr. Cummings is because he brings that newness that our not only of our body politics need, but what the economy needs. This is a pattern with the system for more than 40 plus years. This system has struggled with building, a vibrant economy. And it's not taking shots at anyone, but it's evident. If you look at the economic numbers for the past couple of years, let's say we try maybe the past 12 and then add 4 years or 6 years we are there, and then, 18 years or so, you will see that there's something telling about the state of Liberia's economy. It has not moved because we have been accustomed to using this form of stability economics through the IMF, right? And a lot of the people that they've used at the finance ministry, going back to the likes of Amara Conan, and then you have Samuel Twe, and now you had the boycott for finance guy before, and then Gafuan. Those are students of a system that teaches reliance on right other people putting in models and then pushing that agenda. So there's nothing creative that they've done. And it's pretty simple. I think Mr. Cummings addressed it during his response to the State of the Nation address. Liberia is at a standstill wherein there's this heavy reliance on the IMF, and there's not much value creation that's being done internally. And people forgetting that the IMF goal is just to keep things at a certain level so that the economic crisis from Liberia or other countries don't spill to other nations. So they're doing the bare minimum. How you get out of that particular limitation is by being creative, by creating value in your internal sectors, right? That's going to be able to offset the limitations you have and to provide the kind of growth. And I think that's where the system struggles and why we need this shift, because it takes someone with that vision who understands what they're doing, the practicality, the ability to adapt, and the right economic measures to stay competitive, to be able to broaden our economy, to grow the budget. We need money to make sure that we're building a vibrant private sector. And I think that's where the challenge is. So hopefully, these are the conversations that we need to have more with our people, and we're out there in the communities educating them. But, I'm excited about, the responses that we've gotten, especially Mr. Comics in studio. He needs to do more of those. And because the Liberian people need someone who can be that face and give them the level of assurance that they need. So those are the things that I've been paying attention to, and I'm really excited that we have an opportunity to be able to differentiate now, since we've had this pattern of system versus this shift in policy that we need.
Yeah, we listened to the callers, and there was a caller who said, I can walk down the street and nobody jerk my phone, so I'm happy with that. But most people, they're not happy with that. We need more. We need jobs. Our graduates who are graduating from school need jobs. We don't need LEC cutting off on us every 5 minutes. We need more than just that one thing that you pointed to. Somebody else said, "Oh, the market in Douala market is not it's a little bit cleaner than it was before." That is not enough. Mr. Cummings talk about low standards. No, That is a mess. Center Street is a mess. And we don't want that. We don't want that kind of country. We want jobs. We want people to get a living wage, $300 to $400 a month. You know, this is we want housing. What he's talking about, building housing, having a real tourism sector. I don't know what this man's talking about. Cruise ship with 50 people and 250 people. What kind of jobs is that bringing in? We're talking about real tourism through the airports, through the ports, coming through the border, even. No, that's the kind of tourism. We want to
Yep.
make hundreds of thousands of jobs, not just 250 people or 50 people coming in.
And this where the disconnect is, right? I think our people have been used to the bare minimum for a long time. But my response to that a lot of times is that let's just remove politics and let's be objective for a second, right? If people are honest with themselves, just be honest. Like, do you think that you've really seen massive progress in Liberia over the past 18 years? And that would mean that, do you think as it stands right now, you have the level of jobs, the level of opportunities, and can you be confident enough to say that, Liberia is really thriving economically? Truthfully speaking, no. And it is in part because we have been so used to using an approach that no longer works. Look at, I saw a nice little article about Namibia yesterday, wherein they've paid off, their outstanding debt to the IMF, and they've now instituted a policy that's moving more towards focusing on how they're creating that kind of leverage internally to use their own resources to, build that economic flexibility. And that's where things are going. See Ghana, see Ethiopia, right? See other African nations now that are actually, using that particular model to start building, roads and creating bridges and creating those kind of elaborate structures that's actually providing job. So structural finance, the more diverse kind of finance, that kind of diversity in the economy helps, right? And that's what we're lacking. And I like to use the places like NASCORP. If NASCORP is done properly, it can be one of those key revenue area for not only government for the country, but we have a nation pension system that wherein people are still receiving pension checks for less than $25 after they work for an institution for more than 30 plus years,
No,
right?
that's
But
because Joseph Book, that was the first place they went for cars.
yeah, true. Not and only that is we have a pension plan that's been drowned by inflation, and partly because we have not really understood that we have to evolve beyond this fiscal assets kind of retirement style and start looking at ways to diversify these portfolio, in the process creating the necessary measures that will protect beneficiaries and all of that stuff, right? So those are different things, and that's where I said, outside of the politics and being professional and practical enough, it takes a certain kind of vision to be able to restore the level of economic flexibility that we need to see Liberia thriving. Until then, we'll just have people who are saying the bare minimum and think that is okay, and it's absolutely not.
Yeah, we want more for the country. We deserve more. Your children deserve better than what these people are saying. Oh, I can walk down the street and nobody will check my phone. Well, that's not even true. That is not even true. But that we need a better system, better life. We deserve better. And most people know that. Most people know that. It's just some of these people they call here, like the man said, they're getting little something to call and say these kind of things. But most people know Liberia deserves better. Jefferson, what say you?
Oh, obviously, and that that like I said, right? So you always have these color brigades to come in. The man talked about Baranville Junction. You can walk there freely. What about Broadview, where I live? What about Broadview, where I live? I will tell you this, that every Friday the show ends, like today Saturday 1 o'clock in the morning. So I will get on my bike to drive. I mean to ride and get to Broadview. But I have been advised that it is risky because there are criminals that will be telling me, because it's a bike, they will tell me. And just the simple bridge there in District 16, the bridge that links Broville to the Bourgeois Island. There are always criminals on that bridge, especially certain part of the night between 2 3 a.m. And then Field Junction, where you have the overpass bridge there to go to the conference center, they're always under there as well. There are people who have been robbed several times, or because you feel nobody have robbed you in Broville, I mean in Bannersville, so you feel that you believe now that the entire country or the entire city right here, nobody. But I tell you, it is 1 o'clock. I mean, it's almost 1 a.m. now. Let him just walk from that Bannerfield to say you want to walk through and come to Freeport with his phone, and then he will tell the difference tomorrow morning.
Right. And then the other one said, why didn't Cummins spend $5 million?
Yes. Imagine the comparison.
I know about Joseph Buckeye. He couldn't name one thing.
Well, but you see, this is I'm happy that these things are being stated because it makes it so easy to actually compare and contrast and to just nail it where it is. Why? How did we develop this expectation that one man is supposed to shoulder the responsibility of an entire country?
Yeah.
Why is it that we're so concerned about what one man's network can do to create jobs, but we're not as focused on how the people we elected to serve us are using the country money to create jobs? That's not normal. You know, that is absolutely not normal. That we're worried about what a man's work should be doing in the country. And we're not worried about the people that we've entrusted with trillions of dollars in wealth that's in that country that can be used to build. You see, so there's something that's not right there. And it's not the responsibility of a private citizen to, be able to shoulder the responsibility of the government. Number one. Number two, jobs, even look, I love this opportunity. Let me just educate people. Donald Trump is a billionaire, but a lot of the real estate projects and businesses that Donald Trump, venture into in this country, a lot of the money came from the banks. It didn't come from his pockets. So the United States created a system where even wealthy people don't use the money to go ahead and then build businesses and stuff. They use that by borrowing from these companies, from these banks, local banks, and pay interest and pay back because the system allows them to be able to have access to resources. This is a fact. Nobody taking the individual wealth to go spend it on a business venture. Nobody does that because business is not charity, it's for profits. The problem with Liberia is that we're used to this charity mindset. That's why everything, even our national budget, we need donors. I was listening to an interview concerning the Montreal City Corporation wherein the former judge said that things are not happening now because during Ellen Johnson's release time, they had a vast majority of donations. And I thought for a second, hold on. You're telling me you can't function if you're not receiving handout, but you see where the charity cases coming in? That's been our problem for a long time. This thing here that somebody else needs to foot the bill. But we have the wealth in the country and we have elected people. Yeah, we don't want these people to be able to do what they're supposed to do with the wealth. Liberia is richer than Cummings. You've elected guardians of those resources to make sure that they're using that to be able to empower you. And so if those people are not doing the job, why is it you're looking? So I think people are just looking for something to say because they have nothing else to critique. They're in the moment now where they need to perform and they're not doing what they need to do. So we need to find another pivot point to say that, okay, why he didn't do this or why he didn't, what news flash. He doesn't own Liberia. It's not his responsibility. He's taking this initiative to change his country because he believes that the vision that he has, if that can be used to manage the resources of the country, everybody will be able to experience that shift. And that's a common example there. So I don't really feed into that. It just exposes the limitations in a certain conversation. But I think that this is why we need to start educating people a lot. Liberia is not one man's responsibility. We have voted for guardians of our resources. By the way, there are much more than the people who we think that are wealthy. Why is it we're not holding our public officials accountable, right, when it comes to providing the necessary help that we need to be able to turn those resources into profitable ventures for us? That's the conversation.
Well, thank you so much. We are out of time, but just want to close by saying we have about 900 days to 2029. So get ready. Start looking into what business you're going to open. We talked about Liberianization policy. help Mr. Cummings to become president so you can own your own business, you can get your microloans, you get your license, start working, start providing for your family, housing, electricity. That's what we're looking forward to in the next government. So thank you again, LIB Future TV family. As always, I will see you next Friday. Duke, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I got on late, but this was a great opportunity. Hopefully, I'll hop on next Friday for us to have a conversation. But we're not here to be confrontational with nobody, but we know that we stand on the right side of history because what we have now are sample size of what the system has done for the past 40 plus years. And the truthfulness in us tells us that the system has not been functional enough to put the Liberian people in our society to where it needs to be a productive society. And this is not politics. These are factual. We have the numbers to back it, and we have the economy to show. So for us, this conversation is about shifting, our economic policies, bringing in visions. And this is where Mr. Cummings present that a newness in our Liberian politics. So appreciate it. And hopefully we can continue to have this conversation moving forward.
All right, folks. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow. Again, we'll be here on next week, Monday, 7 o'clock, Liberia's time. Jefferson Weah is my name.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.